Alright, for tonight's lesson we're going to learn how to use formulas. So our lesson is 114. Now I know when you look at the video it's going to be very hard to read the problems because it's small writing, but you should have all of these, the handout from today, and you need to cut and glue in the problems. So we're going to do the first one first, and it says, the Jacksons have added a dining room to a corner of their house. Mr. Jackson purchased crown molding that will be installed at the intersection of the walls and the ceiling of his dining room. Crown molding costs $5 per foot to install. What will be Mr. Jackson's cost after having the crown molding? Okay, so we're seeing here, if you look at the picture, and it's glued on, the bottom going around, he has 12 feet that he needs. In the top, he has 15 feet all the way through. So crown molding is installed around the perimeter of the room. We can use the perimeter formula to determine the total length of the crown molding. Then multiply that length by $5 to find the cost of the installation. So for our perimeter, the formula here is going to be perimeter equals, 2 times your length plus 2 times your width. Or length plus width plus width. That's really what it means. So if we look, if we find our length right here is going to be 15 feet. So I'm going to do perimeter equals 2 times 15 plus 2 times, what is our width? And if you look to see, your width is going to be 12, So right here, 12. Then we need to do the problems. Perimeter equals 2 times 15, which is 30, plus 2 times 12, which is 24. You add it together, your perimeter is going to equal 54, which is great. It's 54 feet. That's how much he needs of crown molding. But when we looked before, it said crown molding costs $5 per foot, and we have 52 feet. So we're going to have to do a multiplication problem right here. $5 times 54, and it equals, you should do this by yourself, $270. It's a weird 7. $270. That would be our total. So what we're basically doing is all these formulas, we should really know these formulas by heart now, at least perimeter. To find the perimeter, you're going to add the 2 sides plus the other 2 sides. Area, you're going to do length times width. And volume, you're going to do length times width times height as well. So we're going to go on and do the second problem, and again, you should have this glued in, and you can read it along. I know it's going to be hard to see on the video. So it says, Mrs. Jackson wants to buy carpet for the dining room floor. How many square feet of carpet are needed to cover the floor? Right away, when we see square feet, we know that we're talking about area. We're talking about length times width. And before, we just wanted to know the perimeter of this crown molding that we needed up here. But now we need to know everything that is inside of this area. So we're going to do length times width, So if we do that, I'm going to write area, or A, equals length times width, just so I can remember. So my area is going to be, if you look, my length right here all the way through is 15, same as the top is the bottom. So 15 times my width, which is right here, 12, and all of these have labels. They're all feet. And when I multiply them, you're going to have to do it to the side. Do it yourself, and then you can check your answer. Your area is going to equal 180, don't forget your label, square feet. Square feet. And that is the answer. So if she wants to buy carpet, she's going to have to go to the carpet store and say, I have 180 square feet of room, of area. So we're talking about everything that's inside. So we get a carpet that's big enough to fit the area inside. Alright. And the last one here. To heat and cool the new room, the Jacksons need to know the volume of the room. How many additional cubic feet of air need to be heated or cooled? Okay, so they want to know what is the entire room. So not just the perimeter, not just the area of the floor, but the whole room, all that's inside of it. They need to know how big that is to know how much to heat or cool the room. Okay, so we're going to do volume, which is equal to length times width times height. Okay, so we're doing all of them. Well, we already know my length, 15, my width, right here, 12, and then my height, going up, 10. So my volume equals my length times my width times my height. So if you do that, you can do 15 times 12, okay, which equals 180. We know from the last one. But then times 10, so we're going to add on another 0. Now, this is cubic, CU, feet. Okay, because normally we have, when we're talking about area, we're talking about square feet. But when we're talking about volume, it's always cubic units, so cubic feet. So 1,800 cubic feet of air to heat or cool inside of their house. All right, and as you can see, this time you have no lesson practice. But I will tell you this, if you put a star in the right-hand corner of your page showing me that you've listened and watched the entire video, you will get an extra bonus point in math.